prototype. It's what I call my toy. It's a proof of concept.
Exactly.
When I went to one of my seminars, there was a man from the UN there, and he said he's been reading about me for years, but he couldn't believe any of it. He said it's impossible because the scientists tell him it's impossible. And I said, well, your scientists are thinking in the box. I'm not. I'm like Nikola Tesla. Tesla did marvelous things because even though nobody believed in him, they thought he was crazy. But he proved his point, you know. Okay, now when we get through here, when we unplug the light and turn it off and we check the voltage, it'll still be the same, 15 to 17, 15 to 17. It never changes.
So in San Francisco it'd be the same, in Seoul it'd be the same?
Well, yeah, it'll be, well, you have, no, not yet. We can turn that on. Wait, all right. Now, our light's not on, okay. But, now let's start sending our frequencies to the plate. As soon as we send those frequencies to the plate,
The light is coming.
now the light comes on.
Photo light.
Photo.
Now you can turn off the lights.
500 watts.
And we're doing it with less than 2 pounds of power. Now there's no, right now, so without getting into a whole lot of stuff, let's get into this a little bit so you understand. It's very light.
You want to hold it?
Yeah, if you want, you can hold it here. The case is the heaviest part, the case.
Look at the panels. There are 6 panels. These panels, there's 6 of them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how this same weight as this.
They're glued together, or there is a gap between each panel? They're glued together, or there is a space between each
Yeah,
panel?
they're sealed to keep oxygen out.
Okay.
You can't have oxygen in there. When these are sandwiched together, and you get a solid one on the outside like that, no oxygen can get to them.
Okay.
Because oxygen in the air is bad for it. Okay? Now, let's get my meter out. So I'm trying to, I know you're a busy man, so I'm trying to make this as quick as I can for you, okay? Okay, now, as you can see, it's not putting out any electricity at all. Now we're going to agitate.
This is what? This is an emitter?
A voltmeter, fluid.
Yes, a voltmeter. Now this is the frequency generator in here. Yeah. Okay. The frequency generator, and this is the computing system that runs it. Okay. And this little thin wire that you see here is gold. It's 22 karat gold.
What?
So you don't have any resistance in the wire. Okay? Now we're going to send frequencies from here to the plates. Now it's not producing any electricity. But now let's send those frequencies to the plate. You can see it here. Okay. Okay, now when we send frequencies to the plate, you see the voltage that you have now? It's a DC voltage. Well, it's not really DC, it's flux voltage. That's why it's moving like that. See, batteries, when you take a reading, it stays there. If it's 12 volt battery, it'll be right there at 12 or 12.5 or whatever, and it doesn't move. As you use it, then it'll start going down.
Yeah.
Okay? This is flux energy. So when we have a power plant, we have to change that flux energy into AC power out to the grid. So that's going to take a battery of banks, these capacitors, to do that. See, so we can change it. Now when we take it loose, see, it's no longer producing electricity anymore.
The panels by themselves are dead. They produce nothing like a solar panel. These have to be excited with the frequencies
So
to
there is
the
the
panels.
battery to pass on the
There
frequency.
is no battery.
There's no-
frequency. but
There's no input
How
power.
you will pass in the frequency then? There must be some
There's
kind
little,
of energy.
little charge capacitors
Yeah.
that jumpstart it right
The,
there.
These small capacitor charges here, that's enough just to keep it activated. Like in your computer. In your computer, you have a tiny little round battery in there. You see, so that when you turn it off or unplug it,
It gets charged.
yeah, it keeps the circuit.
The little CMOS batteries in the computer to keep the date if you unplug
So
it.
you need this small amount right here.
So, but then
To
it
start.
might be getting used in some time.
It recharges itself once
Oh,
it's turned
yeah.
on.
Recharges.
Yeah.
When
It
this
stays,
starts
yeah,
functioning.
it stays charged all the time.
when this starts functioning.
Yes.
Right.
This itself charges this.
Right.
Now let's plug the light in. Now you don't want to stick anything metal inside of there because you can ruin your watch if you stick it in there. Okay. Now the light's not working. It's not producing any electrons. Now let's activate it and watch it produce electrons. Now we're producing electrons. And that's a full 300 watt or 500 watts. This is the 500. I have two. I have a 300 and I have a 500. I brought the 500 with me because your atmospheric conditions are really good here.
This standard solar panel,
16 watts solar panel. 10 watts.
10 watts.
All right.
Okay. What's the weight?
All right.
Okay. This is the equivalent weight.
ये पूरा 4 पीस है, एक नहीं 4.
All right.
Okay. This is 6 panels combined
All
together.
right. And these are 4.
4 panels.
ये तो सेपरेट से लकड़ी के हैं दिखाने के लिए.
मतलब ये 900
300 watts. 10 watts. 300 watts. 10 watts.
No, there's 300
We're
6.
putting out
Right.
800 watts.
Yeah, at least 300 watts.
Yeah, over 300.
Is it 300 watts plus?
Sorry to interrupt you. So this is 300 into 6 or that's only 300?
Solar panel.
Combined together is 300
Solar panel.
Or more.
or more. All right.
Like the 1 megawatt power plant?
Yeah.
1 megawatt or more.
Or more. All right. All right.
This actually can do 500 watts, 800 watts,
Okay.
1200 watts.
We can keep adding more so it gets bigger. Okay? This one is in the middle. Then on both sides, we've got these. There's 2 here.
And 2 on the other side. All right.
Yeah.
इसका ये है.
This is ceramic, and it's delicate. It can break and
I
crack.
understand. I understand.
So we have to be careful. Very
See,
careful.
this is just to compare the difference.
All right.
Yeah.
24 hours a day, 5 hours. 24 hours, 5 hours a
All
day.
right. All right. So
10 watts, 300 watts, 500 watts or more. So this is 3,000% better.
I understand.
So it's just to give a simple comparison of the two.
Now we'll show you the difference between a battery and and the AC in the wall. They're different. Like
So that's convenient for you.
yeah. Okay, now it's not turned on. When it's turned off,
કામમાં છું
No
પછી
problem.
ફોન કરું તને
okay? Now to turn it on,
હું કામમાં છું તને રિંગ આપું
so watch it.
Just pull up.
Yeah. Take off my watch. I'm sorry, you just lay it right there. Okay. I don't want to damage that watch. It's expensive. That's my Father's Day from one of my sons, you know. Okay. Now, this here, this is the
But yes,
frequency generator.
one wire is
here.
out.
It goes through into the computer system.
Wait.
Okay.
One wire is
One
out.
wire is out.
Yeah.
The little black wire?
Well, no,
Black
there's
wire.
two wires here. There's two wires here.
Okay.
That you can add another.
James, the black wire is out. Is that okay?
No.
No, it won't form a connection unless the wire is.
Frequencies are similar to electricity. They have a negative and positive on frequencies.
Right,
Okay,
right.
and that's a gold wire, 22 karat gold, very small. Because if we use a copper wire,
The resistance
it
is
has
high.
a little bit of resistance,
Of course.
so
I
it may
understand.
change my frequency a
I
little bit.
understand.
Okay, so and also people realize I can't transmit power into those plates from that tiny little wire.
Of course.
What we're doing, we're going to agitate the plates. See, in a motor in your car, your generator or your alternator that charges your battery in your car, got copper wires. It's got in the center, it has to turn right there in order to create a field, okay? And then the copper releases their electrons. But now, if you can tell me why those copper lines never run out, you could run it 1,000 years if you could, and they would never run out of electrons. Why? No scientist on earth can tell you why. I can tell you why because I've proven it in my laboratory, but nobody wants to listen to that. Scientists, they say, no, we know everything, you know. They don't want to listen to that kind of stuff, you know. But if you go out, in order to understand where those electrons come from, you go to a lake in your boat, take a bucket and overboard and dip out a bucket of water real quick, pull that real fast, and you'll see a little hole there for just a second.
Of course.
Okay? But it fills back in quick. So that lake is just like what I'm doing. When we use the electrons are all around you. We call it the ether.
Alright.
You know the ether? Have you heard that?
I've heard that term, but
Oh,
I
okay.
also don't
The
understand.
ether, it's scientists cannot prove how they exist or anything. They don't even know how gravity works. They can't tell you how electricity works in your wall. Science is stupid. We are just babies in science. 100 years from now, when we look back at the people here, they're going to say, my God, you were cave dwellers compared to what they'll have in 100 years, or even 20 years, you see? Okay, now, so let's send the frequencies to the plates and agitate. So instead of an armature turning, we don't need no moving parts, none. We're just going to use frequencies as our moving part. Now, you see now that's flux, electricity.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
That's only at 16.
The voltage.
So it's putting out, it jumps from 15 to 19 to 20, it goes back and forth like that. Now if you take your car battery and you put this on your car battery, it'll go up to, if it's a full charge, it'll go up to like 13.2. And it'll just stay there until you use it, and then it starts going down. It don't move. No battery moves. So that's proof there that it's not a battery, okay? It's a device better than a battery, because a battery has to be recharged all the time. This will keep running as long as you keep putting the frequencies in. It will keep producing electrons. That's what the power plant will do, because our plates are not going to be like this. They're going to be 4 feet by 4 feet and about this thick, because we're going to have a lot of plates in there. And then we're going to have a chamber that's 5 feet by 5 feet by 5 feet. Then we take the plate, we slide it in.
Same with this.
Like that.
Understand? You stack them up, basically.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And then we put a cover on it. We bolt it down. It's all bolted down with a rubber seal. And then we take a vacuum pump, connect to it, vacuum all the air out. Okay, no air. Then we take some gas similar to what you see in the fluorescent tubes, just a little bit. We put in there 3 pounds of pressure. 3 only, that's all. Just very little bit, 3 pounds of pressure. That's less than a balloon. You see? And the reason we do that is the chamber's got 3 pounds of pressure. Now, if it ever gets a leak, the sensor will tell the computer, oh, the pressure went from 3 pounds down to 2. And when it gets down to 2, the computer shuts it off. So no more, it's not working no more. Because if they let it work until it runs down and oxygen gets inside, you will damage the circuits of coils. All the plates would just melt, because it's very dangerous for us. So that's why we do that. Now,
Question for you, James. We only need one wire to pulse, because the black wire is, take a look at your black wire, it's off. The black wire got disconnected.
You got it brown.
well, it doesn't matter. That's the feed wire that goes back. I'm having to set the frequency.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
here.
gotcha. Just
So-
takes the one red wire.
So I just pulled it loose.
You listen, you have that
Yeah.
frequencies of it being up.
Okay, now you see we have nothing. Okay? Now I need a light that uses a lot of electricity. And the best one for that is a photo light. Because they're very bright. You see, there's a photo light. Now this is a 500 watt. And it warns you, do not look into it. Because it
Oh,
will
frequency wala.
damage your retina. Yeah. In a photo lab, they shine this up into like an umbrella.
Umbrella so that it diffuses.
Diffuse it, right. So don't look into that. Ooh. Yeah, for my ring. I always forget the ring, you know.
You have to take that off?
No. See, electromagnetic field inside the case travels in the case. And if you've got gold on, it's like sparking across a battery. Ooh, that hurt.
I'll be okay.
Okay. Now, let's activate the frequencies. You see, it's just beginning to start. As the frequencies get higher, it starts getting brighter. You see. Now, even in here, in the daytime, you see it's very bright. Okay, now we don't want to run it long because it gets the light very hot. Okay, but just to show you the power that's there. Can you imagine? That's 500 watts. If you want to run this off of your car battery, you have to have 2 batteries. Because if you put it on one battery,
It won't take load.
yeah, it won't light up. 2 batteries will light it up a little bit, and it will run your battery down very fast, very quick. Now you remembered how it flux. It varies depending on time of day and atmospheric condition. It was running anywhere from 15 to I think 19 or 20, somewhere in there. Okay. So now let's make sure it's the right hand. Now when we quit sending to the light, to the plates, no more sending to the plates. They know work.
They didn't have the same problem of building up.
No, they don't build up. They work almost like a solar panel. But here's the thing: the amperage is very, very low. It's mostly voltage.
Yeah.